If you're thinking about buying the Fitbit Ace 3 for your kid, you might want to pause first. Today, I'm unpacking all the surprises and issues that came up when we tested this so-called perfect fitness tracker for kids. But here's what surprised me. Despite its shiny features and a solid 4.2 rating on Amazon, this watch isn't the flawless activity buddy it's cracked up to be. In fact, there are some real problems you need to know before handing this over to your little one. So, stick around because what I'll reveal might just make you reconsider your purchase or save you some serious hassle. Let's dive deep into who the Fitbit Ace 3 is actually meant for. Designed as a kid's fitness tracker, it promises to get children moving with fun, animated clock faces that evolve based on activity, earn virtual badges, and even track their sleep. Sounds great on paper, but is it the right fit for your kid? If your child is a tech-savvy, constant mover who loves competition and you, as a parent, want to encourage healthy habits, from sleep to step count, this sounds like a winner. However, layering on compatibility requirements with a Google account and the Fitbit app might complicate things for non-tech families or those worried about privacy. Now, before we get swept up in the colorful celebrations on screen, let me share a story that should give you a heads up. One parent reported their kid's tracker stopped syncing after just a week, despite following all setup steps carefully. The battery, which promises an impressive 8 days of life, began draining unusually fast. Sounds a bit like a case of battery or not to battery, right? Turns out, real-world performance can vary significantly depending on usage, leading to frustration when your kid's gadget suddenly falsely signals low battery or, worse, dies midday. It's like giving your child a toy that breaks easier than their resolve to do chores. But wait, there's a twist. Fitbit Ace 3 boasts water resistance up to 50 meters, which should mean it's pool party ready. Yet, some reviews mention that the waterproof promise doesn't always hold up, particularly during cannonball-level splash sessions. So, if you picture your kids swimming and splashing all summer long, keep this in mind. What's a fitness tracker without consistent durability? Getting wet might be fun, but having to worry whether the watch survives means more stress than a fitness tracker should bring. Here's something parents often ask. How easy is it to manage the Fitbit Ace 3 from the parent's side? The device links to a family account, so parents can oversee multiple trackers including their own. That sounds convenient, but the actual process can be clunky. Syncing multiple devices, managing permissions, and keeping kids motivated through the app's dashboard isn't as seamless as Fitbit advertises. Plus, with a barrage of notifications and reminders, kids can feel more nagged than inspired. It's a bit like turning fitness into homework, momentum killer alert. Still wondering if this device is good for a kid who's just starting to learn about healthy habits? Great question. The sleep tracking and bedtime reminders are certainly handy for establishing routine. However, the silent alarms, while useful, don't always function reliably. Imagine your child's quiet nudge never going off during an important bedtime, and she's wide awake watching cartoons instead. Not ideal. As for the activity tracking throughout the day, it's accurate to a degree but doesn't always pick up every move, especially during unconventional playtime or scooter rides, which might leave young users confused or frustrated. Let's pause here with a joke. Why did the Fitbit break up with the smartwatch? Because it couldn't handle all the steps in their relationship. Sometimes, technology relationships are complicated, and the Ace 3 is no exception. But keep watching, because there's more you need to know. Moving on to design, Apple Watch looks sleek, but Fitbit Ace 3 is built for durability. The plastic strap and rugged body mean it can handle the day-to-day tumble. Kids are tough, and so should their tech. The animated clock faces are cute too, adapting to the child's activity level, which really motivates the young ones to keep moving. Kids love seeing their progress evolve visually, like watching a plant grow, but in pixels. However, do keep in mind the screen isn't as vibrant as some other kids' smartwatches out there. The resolution and color brightness feel a bit, let's say, nostalgic. It's bright enough, just don't expect retina-level clarity if your kid wants to show off their tracker to friends. Speaking of showing off, that sometimes translates into keeping the tracker on all day. But the Fitbit Ace 3 can get uncomfortable on tiny wrists during sleep or extended wear, so be prepared for some complaints or the classic, "I hate wearing this" phrase. If you're still hanging on, here's a thought. This device is not a full-fledged smartwatch for kids. It doesn't have apps, games, or story time. It's much more streamlined, focusing on key health elements like steps and sleep. This is fantastic, especially if you want to keep your kid away from screen overload, but some might perceive it as just a pedometer with style. Ready for another joke? What do you call a Fitbit that plays hide and seek? Lost in step. Fitbit Ace 3 might track your steps, but it can sometimes lose track of itself, especially when syncing or app connectivity issues pop up. Patience is a virtue, they say, but for busy parents, reliability rings louder. One feature worth praising is the battery life. Advertised as lasting up to 8 days, which is truly impressive in the wearable world. Most kids' trackers struggle to last more than 3 to 4 days. So yes, charging headaches are reduced, which means more time moving and less time plugged in. But as noted earlier, the real-life battery longevity varies heavily on the child's activity level, screen usage, and notifications received. This inconsistency means parents should set expectations accordingly. Here's a quick rehook. If battery reliability and water resistance are your top priorities, then the Fitbit Ace 3 might fall short. But there's good news coming up regarding its motivational features and family management system. To keep kids excited, Fitbit built the Ace 3 with badges and on-screen celebration that feel like winning a mini-game when goals are reached. This gamification works extremely well for competitive kids or those who thrive on positive reinforcement. Furthermore, the family account feature lets parents set challenges and see weekly stats, which could turn fitness into a friendly family contest. However, these features require that parents actively engage in the app ecosystem, meaning it's not totally hands-off. Another positive is Fitbit's reliable ecosystem. Being part of the Google family means continuous updates and a robust app, making long-term use more promising than lesser-known brands. The Fitbit app is available on both iOS and Android. But here's a snag: kids under 13 require a supervised Google account, and some parents may worry about privacy implications or app data usage. It's a small hurdle, but worth mentioning for the cautious parent. And before we close the review, a little more comedy. Why don't kids trust their Fitbit? Because it's always a little step ethical. Getting fit is fun, yes, but trusting your device not to ghost you mid-step, priceless. So what's the final verdict? Fitbit Ace 3 is a solid choice for parents looking to encourage healthy habits, sleep routines, and activity tracking for kids aged 6 and up. However, be mindful of its limitations. Occasional syncing and battery issues, water resistance that isn't foolproof, and a screen that's charmingly retro but not ultra-crisp. It's not perfect, but it's a positive tool to get kids moving more and into fitness-friendly habits early on. And here's an important reminder: prices on Amazon for Fitbit Ace 3 fluctuate often. So if you're ready to make the purchase, check the link in the description for the best deal. Don't wait too long. Deals come and go faster than kids chasing after an ice cream truck. Thanks for watching the full review. If you want to equip your kid with a fitness tracker that encourages them day and night without constant charging, Fitbit Ace 3 is worth considering, keeping in mind the few hiccups I showed you. Healthy habits start young, and sometimes the right tool is all it takes to kickstart a lifetime of wellness. Happy tracking!